Hello and welcome back to season 2 of Dream Girl. Today our guest is Nikita Mehta. So Nikita is a British entrepreneur and wildlife conservationist. She graduated from UCL in computer science and management and spent her career building prestige and luxury fragrances. Currently, Nikita is the creative director and co-founder of Fable Mane, an Ayurvedic-inspired hair wellness brand. Nikita also was the co-executive producer, of the Netflix documentary film Game Changers, and is also an investor and board member of LVMH Spatu. And she's the co-founder of the Fable Fund that is committed to wild tiger conservation and protection. Hello, Nikki. How are you today?
Hi, good, Sheen. How are
I'm
you?
very well,
Thank you for having me.
No, thank you for being here. I have to say, I'm a bit of a stalker. I was watching your beautiful vacation photos from this weekend. Where were you?
We went to Italy, in the Dolomites, in the mountains, because actually we're also launching something inspired by the mountains.
Oh, nice.
As a sister company to People this year. So I really just find it so healing there. So it was just a weekend break, but so worth it.
Oh man, I was so jealous just because you know how we can't travel anymore. So was it okay for you to travel to Italy? You didn't have to quarantine either way.
Yeah, there's no
Oh,
quarantine,
that's
no,
good.
and it's like the peaks and stuff. And I had some work as well, so went to see to do some
That's
shoots.
good. That's fun.
But yeah, I think life's slowly getting back to normal, but something about the mountains are just so majestic and healing. Like I just feel so present that
I agree.
always work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were lucky this weekend. It was kind of sunny here as well, so not too bad.
Amazing. It's good
We're
to be
finally back in
back.
summer. So, all right. I mean, I've read this big bio, but now tell us, you know, what has been the history of Nikki? I can't believe you went from computer science to luxury fragrances. What was that journey like?
No, but I have to tell you what I did before computer
Go
science
for it.
because I love languages. So I started studying Spanish with management in
Oh,
UCL.
wow.
And then it was very like literature based, which I love reading, but it kind of took the joy away. Like I feel when you learn a language and it becomes too like methodological, it's like I'd rather just go live in Mexico for 5 years and
Yeah.
learn it, and speak with people. So then I switched to the business course, which was at the time with computer science. So it was actually really helpful, you know, to learn how a computer thinks and stuff because now everything's online and digital. And then my father, he's in the fragrance industry, he's in beauty. So I've always kind of grown up with it and spent 8 years working for mainly celebrity fragrances. So some of the most like powerful women and strong women, you know, like Naomi Campbell, Ariana Grande, Jennifer Lopez, and they're also they're icons, but it was also great for me because I learned a lot about like the storytelling and everything that goes behind fragrance, and how to create a brand and the importance of scent in a brand. And I guess that all really helped to start Fable in Maine, which we only launched last year during the pandemic.
Oh my God. So when you say you were working for these brands, what were you actually doing?
So I was in the marketing team. So I was working with the head of marketing. I actually met all of them, went to the meetings, like you know, getting their approval.
Oh,
It's
stop.
just
It's all right.
like the whole process from A to Z. So like many people don't know, like in a fragrance, you know, it's like not just finding a nice scent and bottling it, but it's like the whole registration process, make sure everything's like technical, working with the labs, getting the folding carton, selling it to retail. So everything that goes behind it, the campaign, and it was really, probably some of the best experiences. And I was working for Jean Patou, developing all their new scents. So in marketing and new product development.
Oh, that's really cool. So that's how you got kind of your knowledge of how to get started on the marketing front.
Exactly.
Okay.
And storytelling, you know, I think it's just so important. But I've always been a marketer's brain, so it's not great for my brother, who's my co-founder and CEO. So always like expensive budgets. But no, I love it.
Okay,
I
so
love
then
it.
so then you went to computer science, you went to fragrances, and then how did Fable and Mane come about? I mean, I personally know your story, but I would like to hear it from you.
Of course, yeah. So Fable and Mane, it's really inspired from our like childhood memories, you know, and I was having a lot of hair loss. I was working also sorry, I forgot to add, I was working for a hair brand that we had as well. And I had a lot of like hair loss in the shower. Like, you know, when like clumps of hair would come out.
And you about this.
It affects your self-confidence a bit. And then I was just went into the kitchen and started making oils like how my grandma used to make it, you know, heating up castor oil, ashwagandha, coconut oil, amla, and I massaged it into my hair, and like over consistently using it for like even a month, I saw that it dramatically stopped. I'm like, okay, this actually works. And at the same time, because I was in celebrity fragrances, I was working for a beard oil project for a cricketer in India for a year, and I did a lot of research on Indian hair and what makes it so unique. Why do South Asian women possess this like beautiful hair that we all love visually, but what is it about it? And majority it's the hydration from daily massage and use of oil, and people even leave it in their hair overnight. And so I was like, why? And then when I went into the market, especially in hair, which is quite boring and you know, not many people to guide you, I was like, there was nothing that celebrates this Indian ritual. And if I found the oils, like, you know, like the amla oils and stuff, they were great, but it was really greasy or really smelt nasty. And I was like, then there's something missing here. I see it for a clean, conscious, Ayurvedic inspired brand in a modern way, and not in mass beauty. Like, why is it not in Boots, Sephora, you know, some of the biggest beauty retailers? And then that kind of led to going to Sephora, like on LinkedIn, pitching, can I come see you? Flying to San Francisco, like you've got to be there in person to make an impact. Presenting the pitch. At first it was over email, and then I just had a little sample of the oil. And this was like 2-3 years ago. And they were like, yeah, let's build this ritual. They loved it. They said yes before even completing the full product line. And I knew then, once we had a retail buy-in, that this business is a business idea, it can scale, and there's something here. And everyone just said, even now, to this day, I get people being like, I can feel all the love in Fable Mane. So it was all that, like the work that went into like, you know, choosing the right color, the logo, the packaging, everything, finding the right dropper and like matching the gold of the oil in our dropper to like the gold that I saw somewhere. Like, it was this whole holistic vision, and I knew I needed like a support system, because every entrepreneur thinks they can do it by themselves, but sooner or later you like burn out and you're like, okay, I actually need help. Can't control everything. So my brother, who is complete opposite to me but so complementary, like he has had the corporate life and a digital experience at Dual. I went to him, I went to Paris. I was like, Akash, please leave your job. I was like crying, like, I need you as your sister. Listen to me, if anything. And let's do this. And Sephora interested, will you leave and join? He said, yes. And I clearly remember he called me like before he left, like, Niki, I'm doing this. Like, are you 100% sure? Like, this won't change. Like, you won't change your mind tomorrow. Like, we're going to do this. Like, yes. And since then, we've co-created this brand.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. This is a cool story. I want to go back to the beginning though. Like you said, when you made the sample oil and stuff to take to Sephora, how did you approach that? Did you just kind of use the knowledge that you have, your heritage and all of that, to kind of create something?
Yeah, so I knew some of the best labs from my experience in the US, and I wanted it to be made in the US because it's like local, and US, you know, the Sephora would be our key retailer. And we found a lab that is like solar paneled, has similar values to us, Ayurvedic ingredients. So I was working with them for like, God, we probably had like 100 submissions until I was happy with the texture and consistency and the fragrance, which was very important. So that was done by a French perfumer. And then you ask the lab, you know, to make a small sample in a vial, and they test it before it goes on people's hair. And that was enough for the meeting.
Okay. And how did you get that meeting?
Like I said, I went on LinkedIn.
Wow.
I looked for the hair merchant. I sent her a message.
And it worked.
Got my email. Yeah, but the funny thing with that is, it worked because, I mean, they won't say you can have a meeting unless they see the idea, right? Like, it's hard. So I had to send the email first. They first asked, send it over PDF. If we like it, we'll get back to you. The funny thing with that is my father, who has a lot more famous brands and not from scratch, has not has pitched to Sephora many times for perfumes, and they've said no. So it's not like they'll always say yes, you know. I think it's just like the key. They're really great with founder-led brands, and there's so many other amazing retailers in the US. You just have to find what would be a good positioning, you know, for your price point and position.
Right. And what would you say was the hardest thing in that journey of getting Fable and Mane started?
Oh gosh, so I'm a perfectionist, so timelines, sticking to timelines, like launching on time. Like obviously it was in COVID, so we had all the pumps went for hand sanitizers that we have in our shampoo and conditioner, and the price of obviously cardboard boxes and stuff that everyone was doing online shopping went up. So logistically to get everything where like from our suppliers, and if it was overseas there's a tariff into the US importing, like just to launch on time was hard. And then we sold out like 3 times online our oil, so to replenish that quickly. So we learned a lot of like forecasts. There was just 3 of us to begin with, and now we're a team of 6 or 7, so slowly growing. But I think that was the most challenging, like wearing so many hats, which comes with a startup, but then it's like you also have to like find a time to like focus and scale, you know, and make those decisions. So now when we're buying, you know, we buy in bulk and not every quarter.
Okay, so obviously this is just me. I just love the idea of this, right? So I have questions for you. So you know when you're saying you're buying cardboard, you're choosing the dropper and all of that. How did you know what are the different things you have to think about? For example, the bottling, the labels. Do you get guidance from someone? Like how do you figure it out?
So there are packaging companies that can do like turnkey. You can go to them literally and be like, I like, you know, this isn't my phone, but I like this color. Can you put it on this glass bottle? I like this shape of this brand. Find something similar. But in our case, everything was custom in the sense I went to all the packaging trade show fairs. That's a great place to start. And you get suppliers. So there's like Lux Pack, there's Cosmoprof in Bologna. Now I don't know when we can travel again, but before that I did. And I went to In Cosmetics, where you meet raw material suppliers, and that's also really important that you know what ingredients go in. But for packaging, I think we probably had 1,000 different or 100, because I know every amber bottle supplier in this whole world now, because I wanted something specific with the rounded shoulders, but every amber bottom tube had like circular. So it was really hard to find something in stock, because having your own mold is really expensive, which we're doing now because we want to go into recycled plastic. But for our oil, it was just making sure like, it's the right color, making sure everything fits, making sure that, you know, it's oil, it will leak, so you have a label that's resistant. We wanted dark glass because in the light in the store, it can, you know, tarnish over time, the color can change. So you have to think about all these little things, like in transit, how will it affect, how will the customer keep it in her box, how will they travel with it. It's not just like what aesthetically pleases you. You know, you've got about 20 different questions, making sure it passes the drop test. So if it drops in the shower, it doesn't break. There's so much packaging testing and not just leaking that to do. But you just have to, once you know it and you go through it, it becomes easier for the next time. You know? And then we had outer boxes as well, so making sure everything's made to fit, and then going for the print run to make sure it's the right Pantone color. Like it's crazy, but it's fun. So you've got to be a little bit weird and crazy to run your own business, because there's no 2 days that are the same. So if you love like routine and structure and you don't like change, like it's not for you.
I can imagine. But I genuinely love the idea, and you get to be so creative, right? And you get to choose because it's your thing, so you can decide what you want it to look like. So that must feel free.
Exactly. But also making that decision sometimes hard, you know. It's like I know what I like, but then it's also sometimes too many options.
Yeah, most of the time. Okay, so then you had your bottles, and where do you sell now? Do you sell online on your website, and you in Sephora?
Fable Mane, we're in Sephora, Boots, Douglas in Germany. We're launching in India and other retailers in Europe and online.
Okay,
so
that's really cool. But Okay, now question. With obviously us South Asian, we know the importance of using oil in our hair. Do you feel like this message has come across to the more Western part of the world now, where they would know the importance of using oil?
I think it's starting now with education. Like, even 5 years ago in the press, I didn't read much about Ayurveda, but now it's everywhere. And people are returning to it naturally because they know that our way of living is just not healthy or balanced. And I guess spending more time at home now, we have time for rituals, right? Like, the shower is not just a routine now. We're spending the time to take care of our scalp like we do for our skin on our face. So that's definitely shifting. Also, it's the educational element. Like, I remember I did an interview with Vogue USA, and the lady in New York was like, I just didn't know Indian women oiled their hair. Like, she asked some of her Indian friends, they're like, oh yeah, it's something we do on Sunday. Like, we've just done it. And they're like, but it was just that she was like, okay, what? So I have to apply it on dry hair before washing, and like explaining it to her. So it was a new habit and concept. Like, people just don't know to oil their hair. So I think seeing that and seeing the diverse community, and our customer base is not just Indian, it's Hispanic, Caucasian hair, textured hair, it's like kinky hair, and seeing everyone use it and enjoy it, and all the pictures like on social and stuff, it's just like the best feeling, because that's our mission, to bring Indian beauty secrets to the West. So if we can deliver, that's great.
Yeah, absolutely. And did you find that there was a big gap in the market in terms of things that were designed, for example, for non-Caucasian hair like ours? Do you think is that still there?
Yeah, 100%. So like, I used all my products came from India, right? Like the Ayurvedic, and that's definitely for thicker hair. But now I definitely see a gap in the market. Like, we wanted to formulate for all hair types, but I do think, obviously, when you think of the word mane, you have this visual impression of thick hair. So that our customer, who people love our shampoo, conditioner, and mask, they do find it really hydrating, which sometimes dry, thicker hair needs. But yeah, I definitely see. In fact, now I've seen in the past year more brands entering this space, in hair and beauty and wellness, which is a great sign that means there is a market and it's growing, and the more of us, the better. There was Japanese beauty, Korean beauty, and now Australian beauty. Now it's time for Indian beauty.
Absolutely. Yeah, you know how we were talking earlier about the fact that both of us have naturally curly hair, but at the moment it is not curly. So I went on this whole journey since January 2020, where I started just leaving my hair natural, and then it was this whole experience of learning how to take care of it, because growing up I didn't know how to take care of it, and I always used to straighten it. And then it was great. I really enjoyed it, but it's so much hard work to like make it look presentable, because there's so many products. You have to oil it, you can't brush it,
you have to curl it a certain way, like the way you scrunch it and not touch it. Curly hair is like, it's its own journey, and I love my curls, but like I said, like, your hair tells its like own mood and story, and some days you just I want to rock it blow dried, or some days I want to keep it natural. I think that's the beauty of having both. Like, it behaves well when you want to like style it.
So how do you learn about hair? Like, for example, how did you learn how to take care of your curly hair?
So for curl, honestly, like, it sounds weird, but TikTok right now is so there's so many curly like girl influencers, and I watch them, like, even on YouTube. I mean, I can share some like people I follow, but like people with long hair, how they take care of it, like braiding it at night, or like putting it in a turban, never a towel, which I used to do, right? I used to use my body towel with my hair, but like that will like lead it to break. And like using a different pillowcase. I didn't know.
Same. It blew my mind.
It blew my mind. Like, I was like, all these little things, like how to shampoo. Like, you have to put it in your hands.
Yeah, do not
first,
just go in like that.
Like, some people like literally take it and pour it on.
That's what I do.
Thing. No. You gotta wet your hand, and then never the ends, because apparently it'll naturally go. And like massage, like all these little things I've just like incorporated into my own ritual, but I've learned TikTok's like, I love it for hair influencers. But curly hair, honestly, I have not yet mastered it. I think maybe one day we should make a curl cream or something, because or like an air dry cream, because sometimes styling's not good for you,
No,
as you know,
yeah.
like too much heat. So I try to wash my hair like once a week now.
Same. I tried to limit it.
I gotta get really
Yeah.
busy.
Maybe
Yeah.
maybe you should do the like deep conditioning stuff for like curly hair. That would be good.
Yeah, deep or leave-in. I think we'll do like a leave-in conditioner, shampoo, like something. Because right now we have a wet product like designed to be washed out. But leave-in is like one of the most common requested items, and also because they love the smell, so they want something they
Oh
can
yeah, that's true.
leave it in.
Okay, well, given that TikTok is such a happening place for hair, do you do any kind of content creation on TikTok?
So I dabbled with it a little bit last year, but we're just hiring a content creator
Nice.
just for
Yeah.
TikTok. So I will be doing a lot more now. I think I just find it hard to like create, edit, like with it just from a time point of view. But that's definitely one of my priorities. Because it's so fun, TikTok. Like, people don't take themselves seriously.
Yeah.
I just positive. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna do more this year.
Yeah, I think content creation is great. Like I watched this short episode that you did with your brother, which was called Chat and Chai or Chai and Chat.
Yeah.
And I thought that was
Yeah.
really cool. And I think that's one way that you could raise more, hair education awareness, and also just, get the word out there about your products and the history of it all. Do you intend on doing more of that?
Yes, I think that would be we did one more this year, but I think we'll do it for every new launch. So we're launching a range this year, and we'll definitely do one like on its benefits. But that's good. Are you on TikTok?
No, I'm not. So my problem is, right, I already spend too much time on Instagram, so I'm thinking if I have TikTok, and it just feels like it's a black hole where people are always on TikTok. But I do watch some of the stuff that is repurposed on Instagram and so, and I think it's really cool. I love the trends that go on. You know how right now...
You know what?
Sorry.
It definitely, like, when I'm on it, I'm on this little world or bubble. It's like you get walked into it, and you're like, you feel like you really know the people you watch, and then it's like, but I feel it stays on TikTok well, like Instagram, but then I've met so many people even that we've collaborated with via TikTok, and the people who are like, love Fable and Mane and create content for us. So it's amazing to like connect with them. And it definitely like helps with sales as well for business. I think it targets that exact customer segment that we target. So I love it. But I'm finding now I'm getting a lot more. I'm reading The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, or rereading it, and I feel like there's nothing like the present moment, right? Like the one we're in right now. This is where life happens, right? The past is like no more, it's the memory, and the future is just anxiety, like tomorrow never comes kind of vibe. Like it's true though, we can't always live in our minds. So life is now, and I do sometimes feel like when I'm on social, okay, if I'm posting something now, I it's like it's stopping me sometimes from being focused in the now, in the present. So I'm quite interested to see how social media, just from a spiritual, point of view, as people become more present and rooted, and will evolve, and how we will use it for a means of good, like technology, to promote positivity rather than comparison.
Yeah, that's very important. I've been thinking about this as well. We were talking about this on the podcast last week, where social media is good as it is bad, because it is good in the sense when you're raising awareness, when you're having mindful conversations that need to happen, but at the same time the comparison aspect, we all do it.
Comparison and the need for validation. So looking for something external from yourself, and that's what this book has really taught me, is like everything you need is within you, which we all know, but it's like experiencing that freedom of the self and not dependent on anything. It's like you'll always be okay if you're in the now, and I think that's amazing. But it's like, how do you translate that on social?
How?
And are we really connecting authentically, even if it's social, but like in real life, right? We've been living on a virtual plane for like a year now post-COVID, but how much is the future of communication just on our phones? It's pretty interesting the way. So all of these things I also have to be tuned into as business, because we of course need them. If somebody wants to see Fable Mane, they'll go on the Instagram first, right? Like check what it is before thinking of buying it. So it serves a purpose, but it's being very conscious of the message you choose to share. And that is something really important to me as a founder. Like, what are we saying? It's not just what we're selling. Like, what are we teaching? How can we be of service and add value to every customer, right? Whether they're a customer, a client or not, but like, and make them feel welcome. So those questions are something I don't think enough brands do. The newer ones do, but not the more established.
Yeah, that's very interesting. I think, would you say that's a key advice you'd give to people who are about to start their entrepreneurial journey?
Yeah, definitely know your why, because probably took me like a good few weekends. I was just sitting there and I was like rewriting. I was like, no, that's not enough. And then it was just like one sentence. But you can't say it if you don't know it, and if you're not living it, if it's not you authentically, like, people will see through it.
Yeah, that's true. So looking back at your short year, I know it's been a very successful year. What would you say was your kind of highest high?
Ooh, good question. You mean this year?
Yeah, since you launched Fable Mane.
Yeah. Since I launched, so I haven't been to the US yet because of travel, but definitely seeing it like next to Fenty Beauty or something. just visually, I was like, what? Like, this is surreal. This is not me. I love Sephora. I'm a beauty junkie. Like, I'm a customer there. I just like pick everything. I just in Italy, I like the whole, like the makeup and skin. And I was just like, how is this even real? Like, and it just made me think, like, honestly, anything you want in life, if you can envision it, you can make it happen, right? The power of intention. And it's not because you want something. I don't think the universe delivers your desires, but I think because you are it, but you've got to like remove everything that will stop you from becoming it, like from your being. So that was the highest moment, but then also like seeing the process of manifestation like happen. That's something you've been working on for 3 years, and then like having it physically in your hands.
Yeah. How? Because that's the thing, right? We all see the success story after it's happened, but
you see the peaks, but you have to know that it was the valleys, the like moments of sadness or like, you know, confusion or stress or worry that has made it so amazing, that maybe people don't share on Instagram and social, but that's what made it worth it, and the journey, right? So it's always, the ups and downs.
Wow. And what's the future now for Fable Mane?
So we want to go more into scalp care. I believe healthy scalps are really important. Leave-in products, kind of like just really expanding our hair care range. More rituals. We've got some incredible products lined up for this year into wellness and like fragrant, like candles and stuff. So super excited.
And hopefully once COVID goes away as well, you can start traveling around and doing a bit more of what you're doing.
That's I want to meet all the people, train the people selling our products, and meet the consumers. And so much love from the US and UK, especially even like South Asian communities, like supporting each other. I feel our generation, I didn't really have that growing up in school, and I feel it's amazing. Like once you start creating people, just even from Instagram, and that's been so great. I've met such incredible people from Instagram. I'm so grateful because they're also creating, and it's like this whole vibe,
you know? So wholesome. Like we connected through Instagram as well, and it's just really nice to be able to support each other along the journey.
Exactly.
Oh, cool. Do you work with influencers and stuff? Do you like do you think that's useful, the whole influencer package?
100%. Because then you see how they use it, and like it inspires other people too, and especially hair. Like it's so visual. So like the before and afters. So I love it. I mean, I don't think it's interesting because I'm quite a behind the scenes kind of person. I love working, but I don't like to show my face that much. But now with the brand, my brother definitely is much more, you know, comfortable and influencer. But now with the brand growing, I'm seeing like I'm also my own voice, like expressing myself. So it's nice. Yeah,
it's definitely really nice. Well, this has been wonderful. Do you have any parting advice to anyone who's thinking about launching their own business? Or, I mean, the one thing I didn't ask at the beginning was, you know, how did you make that brave decision of leaving a paid job and making your brother leave a paid job and, you know, taking the risk? Like, how was that for you?
So freeing, but I always knew I couldn't work for someone. I think honestly, some people, you just know, like, I want to be my own boss, because if you have this burning, like, frustration inside of you, like, why does this not exist? Because so many people can have an idea, but not enough people have the courage to pursue it, because they're so, it's not the financial side. I completely get, like, we need our paycheck day and night just to get, you know, to make a living. Even on the side, like, if you come home from work and you have this idea, just work on it, like, and test it and fail like 20 times, but keep going until you have it right, you know. And it's best decision, because now I don't think it's like, it's just the freedom. I think we all want to be free, and not that you can't be free working for someone else, but it's just, for me, if there's something you want to create and you want it, so just do it. Don't think about it too much. I think if it wasn't for my brother or Sephora, I would still be working on Fable Mane and it wouldn't be launched yet. Like, that's how much I loved it. But it was just like the process, perfecting everything. So if there's one piece of advice I could give, is like, even if something's like 50 or 80% ready, just launch it, because that's everyone else is 100%. You are your own worst critic. So, and nobody else really cares. Like, everyone's thinking about themselves. So it's just do it. That's how you learn.
Yeah, learn by doing, right? Great advice.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Niki. It was so much fun. I'm glad we got to know each other.
Me too. And I can't wait for you to try the oil.
Yeah, can't wait either. I mean, you know, I have a lot of hair, so.
Me too. Yeah, it's stunning.
So is yours, but obviously you have all the hair secrets, so, you know. All right, well, thank you so much.
Thank you.